We're back here in the final segment of the platform today as we have a conversation on the fishing industry in the Bahamas, and we are joined by Julius Ranke. It's nice to have you here, and you are from Savannah Sound as well.
Yes, sir.
Now, on the radio program, you told me of some of the difficulties that you've had with people who, these do-it-yourselfers. So speak to that.
Well, pretty much the way that we've been affected in Savannah Sound is very simple. They come biggity, as we would say it in the Bahamas, you know, to the point where, as I said in a meeting with other guys in the Bahamas, that I'll share a very short story where they came out on the flats as I was paddleboard one day. I was, off from work, and I paddleboard out, and these guys were out on the flats, and they had the audacity to ask me to leave the area. This is in my sound, on my island, in my Bahamas.
Yeah.
And the guys said to me, could you please leave the area? We're fishing. Now, right off the top, I know all the anglers on my island. I knew right off the top that they were foreign anglers, right? So I said, okay, no problem. I left. I went back home, pick up my big boat, and run straight across all of the area, making sure they couldn't bonefish anymore for that day. That is some of the extents that we have to go through to police our own waters, because there isn't any rules and regulations. They actually are allowed to come in and do exactly what they feel like doing, not just being allowed. They have on the internet asking them to come into certain lodges, to come into certain winter residents to freely bonefish. Certain winter residents would have their houses outfitted for the guests to come in. They don't need to rent a rod from the local store on the island. They don't need a boat from anybody on the island. They could go out and do it the way they want to do it. As I said on the radio a few minutes ago, there's been days when we go out, and if there's 10 different places in my sound, that's areas that we normally bonefish, 9 of them are taken up with do-it-yourself bone fishermen. Only one area in that day you could have gone and fished, and you had to have access by boat only.
And these are foreign people without permits fishing off Savannah Sound.
Yes, sir. And the thing about it is, I've taken a leap to actually go and speak with some of the people when you see them, and you let them know, hey, listen, I'm a bone fisherman in the area. And you had the people that have no problem paying to go out on a trip. We've had people email us and, Julius, we want to fish at X amount of places. Can you take us out? We want to be able to do it yourself. And we have to be able to educate the people, because the knowledge that we want to put onto the Bahamian people is the fact that we know what we want. They don't know what we want. All they know is what they see on the internet. Come to the Bahamas. We good people. We love to give you everything you need. For instance, there's incidents where when you have the second homeowners, they come to the Bahamas. Because of us being good-hearted people, we really give them everything. We get to know them, learn them, accept them as friends and family, to the point where we teach them certain areas that they are able to go to and fish, being a homeowner or a permanent resident. Well, once they were to, and not all of them, I'll be clear, not all of them, but the few of them that take that information or knowledge, put it into their GPS, and allow the people that rent their homes to come in and not only bonefish or go out big game or snapper fishing, but I've seen it with my own eyes, go out to some of the little areas that we would call our down-home spots for crawfish in and out of the crawfish season.
Mr. Smith, how has your association allowed second homeowners to come into the country and engage in gainful employment and without any repercussions from immigration? When you're a second homeowner, you can't gain no employment, You shouldn't even be able to rent your house out on rent, right? How you all allow this?
Government did, we didn't.
Hmm?
Government did, we didn't.
No, but
And they continue to do it.
have you complained about it?
We have been, yes, myself.
You
know,
complained to immigration about it?
Man, absolutely.
All these islands got immigration officers, you
There's
know.
another guy, you know, is very good also. His name is Paul Petty. He and I have been in this fight for a long time. We've been going to immigration for years. And, you know, for a short period, you'll see them back up, and then you'll see them back again. And they know when immigration officers change better than me and you. And then we have to start the same process all over again.
This is a governance problem that we have
Absolutely.
in the Bahamas. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
True and true.
It's a governance problem. It's a problem too of bad policies.
Bad policies. Again, you look back and you see, I remember the time I spent on the Defense Force. The Dominican said to me, he said, well, Prescott, you have all of this resource, and we have so little. He says, so when you look at it, it's hard for us to stay away. And so imagine, we don't have the largest flats in the Caribbean or in North America. We have the largest flat on the face of the earth. And so it's up to us to put these necessary regulations in place and realize that all of these mounting problems we have for years is that nobody wants you, like that female astronaut, to be in charge of your gold mine or your diamond mine or your oil well. And this is nothing unique to us. The people in the Middle East have to take control of their oil fields. The people in South Africa have to take control of their diamond mines. And so we have to take control of our resource. We have mining of our flats, destroying it, and certain islands like Grand Bahama, the second largest nursery system in this country.
Using sand or what?
Yeah, the calcium carbonate, and there are many applications disturbing. As a matter of fact, I just had to deal with one in North Andros, met with the council there. They had 3 applications ready in the final stage of approval. And a lot of these decisions are made because we do not know the value of these flats. The present Prime Minister can share with you, when I first went to Cabinet in 2002, he said, Prescott, in the next 3 days I was going to sign over the Jolta Keys. And he stopped it because it is not just shallow banks and some islands, but you have to show them that these flats mean so much more to the country. And so, you know, these are the many situations.
But I interject a little something here, Ms. Enes, because there's been quite a few times when you say, well, you know, why didn't you do this and all that time, why didn't you do that? This industry has been here for 60 years, right? And this is the first time anything of this sort has came up. This association is still relatively new. Now, I've been fighting this stuff all my life as an individual. Prescott has also. But this association itself is what, 3 years old, just a little or more than 3 years old. And for us to have reached this point in that amount of time, I think is applaudable.
I agree.
You know,
It's good.
and we had a steering committee prior to that. But this association as is just over 3 years old.
You know, talk about our natural resources, right? Prescott debunked certain ideas or certain views. Like we all believe that flamingos come from Inagua. We're you showing pictures of flamingos.
So on the western end of Andros, right?
Of Andros, the bites of Auckland, Crooked Island, Maguana. That applies to so many other things.
Yeah.
I think Nathaniel pointed out earlier, there are hundreds of creeks that are blocked, and so the conservation arm of this is also a priority for us
Gentlemen,
as well.
Isn't the main problem in the Bahamas is that we simply do not understand the Bahamas.
Don't know the
we
Bahamas.
don't know the Bahamas. We do not understand what we have. It's a problem of education. And we've been talking on this program and others about the miseducation of the Bahamas, the extent to which Bahamians do not know their environment. And these difficulties occur because we do not understand, we do not know the Bahamas, we do not know the environment in which we are living.
Absolutely.
don't know our country.
One short thing there. Education is also going to be a large part of this association.
Yes.
Julius and I work with along with the Central Lutheran High School, where in spring every year the persons that are graduating, they go out on these job training courses. We got something started there where they have been sending them to us, and we have been taking them out as a part of their job training, as incentives to try and get them involved in this industry.
Yeah.
And this association intends to agitate, to the Ministry of Education, try to get something in their curriculum, and we intend to take this to the schools. And in the end, hopefully, this will help to provide employment for a lot of the young people coming out of the school, so they don't have to rely on governments. They don't have to go out there hustling a job and making $100 a week, that kind of stuff.
And might I say that they have excellent potential. After passing out a whole week with me learning how to dig bait out of the sand rocks to actually catch a fish, learn how to cast the net and fly fishing. When they pass out of fishbone tours is what my business is.
Fishbone tours.
Fishbone tours. They are able to have a receipt saying that, hey, a certificate, saying that they're able to do these things.
But you seem to be a very young fella. Who taught you these things you just mentioned?
That's my uncle
Yeah.
and his old man,
Yeah.
my granddaddy, Captain Bill.
Captain Bill Ranke.
Yes,
Yeah.
one of the things I'd like to make a very simple mention of is you have a lot of foreigners come to our country and they always leave saying, we love the Bahamas. One of the things I want to make very, very clean is the fact that no one loved the Bahamas more than the Bahamians.
Yeah.
We love our Bahamas. We have a lot of people that come to us and they say, oh, well, Bahamians don't understand and they don't appreciate what they have. Some Bahamians.
Yeah, we love the Bahamas, yes, but the vast majority of Bahamians do not know the Bahamas. I can tell you, I have learned a whole lot from listening to Prescott and going around the islands, looking at the nurseries, the mangroves. I went to Bimini, for instance, and saw the destruction of mangroves. I went to Kamalami Key with Prescott and saw the damage being done to the mangroves. I've been around for a long time in journalism.
Look what happened.
Didn't know these things.
Look what happened up in Exuma.
And look what happened in Exumas with the Aga Khan.
Yeah.
Just pure destruction. Mr. Ines went with me to Auckland and saw a couple of things that he didn't know existed.
Yeah.
So we, even though we might be well educated, we have to have a better appreciation of the Bahamas.
And that in itself is
Folks are
exactly
just not aware.
what myself and Mr. Rankin is doing, where we're actually trying our best on a very small scale, but with the help of the Boone Fishing Association, to get it really out there and into the schools. I've said to these gentlemen over and over before, where the Bahamas always say, oh, we're big on fishing and farming. Show me the first class in school that has a fisherman as a teacher.
Yeah, but you've fallen down, your association has, on your marketing and public relations. There's no doubt about that.
I want to say something on the education because I think if anything, you hit it on the head. Even though we might do individual programs on Andros and Eleuthera and Cat Island, there is a national education crisis about what the Bahamas really is about.
It's a crisis.
Yes.
It is a crisis because I've traveled to every island in the Bahamas and done presentations. I've been to schools in Exuma, Eleuthera, Cat Island, all over the country. Now, here's what I did. I love to do research. I didn't tell them that we had the largest flats in the world. What I did was I asked from the College of the Bahamas, I said, well, tell me about the resources of the country. And I found that they were college students to Queens College, to Kingsway, to Eleuthera, all over the Bahamas. I heard sun, sand, and sea. And so They might know about Eleuthera. The students in Andros might know about Andros, but they don't know the national resource. And so our education system is flawed because there are basic things that every Bahamian needs to know about the entire country.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just came back from Andros the other day, Godfrey, and I am amazed to see the creeks, the waterways, the various...
Andros is unique.
you have about 3 islands in one.
Yeah, it's unique. No place in the world like Andros.
Three islands in one.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, gentlemen, and we wish you well in educating our public on this industry, and we are pretty certain that once properly educated, these fees that you are suggesting would be, like Godfrey say, no problem at all. Thank you so very much.
That's encouraging.
I appreciate your
Thank
being
you for
here.
having us,
Okay.
man.
Thank you very much for watching and listening to our program today.
Thanks.
Good evening, everyone.